Hello, I'm Kenza Gray, the director and co-founder of Grey Area Gallery, and welcome to our new exhibition, Kallos. So Kallos is the Greek term used to describe the ultimate essence of beauty. It encompassed the good within a person as well as their physical beauty. We took this as a starting point for this exhibition, and we wanted to look at the male beauty, specifically through the male-on-male gaze. We were interested in how male form is depicted by men in contemporary art. So Kallos incorporates 4 contemporary artists. We have Radek Husak, who's a Polish-born London-based artist. We have Mann, who is a Norfolk-based textiles and ceramic artist. We have Arlo Lawton, who is a transmasculine artist, usually working in photography and illustration. And we have Daniel Franklin, who is a Norfolk-based oil painter. As you enter Kallos, you are greeted by Mann's Shays and Radek Husak's diptych Prometheus 1 and 2. They give you a real impactful sense of what we're trying to achieve in the exhibition, which is to contrast these artists' works with each other, to understand the total theme of what is male beauty in the context of how it's been depicted in the past. So this piece features the Acts of Gross Indecency tiles, which are handmade by Mark and incorporated within this antique frame. It's part of the series that we're showing here in Kallos, which is the Acts of Gross Indecency series, where Mark is exploring a time in English history before homosexuality was legalized. We're contrasting this luxurious feel of this artwork with its deeper meaning, which is drawing upon the discomfort that the queer community has within our history. You may notice the sort of dark green glaze used in the tiles, which is hinting at public restrooms and bathrooms that are often a place linked with queer history and queer meetings. So this chaise longue is Mark's second piece that you will see as you walk in of his. So he has hand screen printed police records onto this chaise longue, which are records of when men have been arrested for performing homosexuality acts, these acts of gross indecency. They have almost been branded into this chair, and he is contrasting those traumatic and again uncomfortable histories that live with the queer community on this luxurious, comfortable, very over-the-top chair. This piece by Mann is titled Glimpses of Glory. It's a 3-piece screen which features on the front here 216 handmade individual and glazed tiles. And then on the back there we have a screen printed textile that Mark has designed himself. The combination of these two show beautifully how Mark has mastered these 2 different techniques in art, but combining them into one. This piece is titled The Root of Desire. It's the most recent piece of Radek's that we have in the exhibition. So it's just been completed and he's playing with a new colour form in this particular series. It's on blasted aluminium, which I think gives it this real soft but bright appearance. He's bringing in his very typical bold pop art colours against the Renaissance style of the nudes that are depicted, creating this really fun juxtaposition, exploring again how we're seeing these classical male forms but in a contemporary society. And I think it can't be ignored if we're looking at the pop art elements he's bringing in, that there is also this queer history that is tied up with pop art. So although we're harking back to Renaissance, there is also a queer history that's being explored in more recent times. These 2 pieces were just finished by Radek before the exhibition, and they're actually on ceramic tile, which I think gives them a beautifully soft sort of element. And it's working, I think, especially well with the subject matter, because we're getting a sort of adolescent-looking boys rather than the sort of really over-the-top men that we're seeing in some of his other pieces. So to do this on a soft, small scale, I think really emphasises the subject matter here. So here we have Daniel Franklin's oil paintings. He's a Norwich-based artist, and this is a new series he's working on, where we follow two people who we do not know, but we see interacting. Sometimes they're together, sometimes they're not, and we just allow these small snippets of their life. And we're wondering what goes on outside the frame, what goes on when they're not being depicted, and we see the beautiful essence of his oil brush strokes, where he's capturing a moment in just a few strokes. In some places we get more details, like the face here, and then in other areas we get really broad, crude, just expressions of oil paint. So on the back wall here we have Arlo Lawton's work. Arlo is a transmasculine artist who is usually specialising in photography but is also an illustrator. Here we have their At Home series, which is exploring their T4T relationship with their also transmasculine partner, and it's showing their at-home life, their sort of safe space that they've built as a queer partnership, which is escaped from the cis heteronormative society. We've also included their testosterone needles here as an exploration of what is male beauty and how are we defining it in our contemporary society. Their black and white at-home series is a larger body of work, which we have a few of their pieces also for sale in the print browser, but we've selected these ones to go along the back wall here as a good example of the different pieces from that series. We're now about to close the doors on Kallos, so unfortunately you cannot visit this exhibition in person anymore. We hope this has given a little glimpse into the exhibition, and if you have any questions about the artists or the artworks, please do contact the gallery, as some of them are still available to purchase through us. And lastly, I wanted to say that Kallos as a theme will hopefully grow as a bigger project going forward. So as it evolves as a bigger project through the gallery, stay tuned, watch our social medias for any more information.